On this episode of Carnage, we're going to give the MX5 more boost and more power! Hey guys, and welcome to Carnage. If you don't know about our little Mazda, let me tell you all about it. In song, we bought a Mazda.
It was a shit box.
We gave it 2 turbos
Plus an LS swap.
Then we drove it through the night,
All the way to Alice Springs.
where we put it down the quarter.
And we did some other things.
Then we did an epic rap.
And we did some other crap.
Bubba took it drifting.
And Scotty put it in the wall.
Okay, we get it. I crashed the car.
Back to Alice once again.
That's right, the Mazda went back to Alice Springs where Luke Foley from MPW Performance raced it and got kicked off the track.
Because it ran nice.
Alright, enough. So yeah, we did a Barra swap,
It's got a Barra.
then we gave it a Lightning McQueen wrap before we headed to Summonats and had a fat time before we put a hole in the radiator. Now that we're back, we're going to give it a new radiator, a new intercooler, find some more power with a little bit more boost, and we're going to head to the track and go for a new PB with our little Mazda.
It's still a shit box.
Alright, let's get serious. So we took the Mazda to Summonats, had a blast. Really good time. But we also snapped that pulley mount, punctured the radiator, so we have the Volvo 2 radiator, just like the Trollvo uses, because they're cheap. They're like 170 bucks. So, solve that issue. Pulleys have always been a bit of an issue. We rushed that job just to get it to Summonats, and it bit us on the arse. So, what we've got here is a aircon replacement pulley. Now this one's for an AU, so we're going to have to do a little bit of clearancing down in here somewhere. Just there's one bolt that's different, but solve that problem. Now the big problem with the Mazda has always been the intercooler. It is too small and we're getting some serious heat soak in this thing. Even halfway through the dyno run, it is pulling timing because the intercooler is not working properly. So we've got this big bad boy. So this one's off eBay from the guys at Cooling Pro. It is 100mm thick, 450 by 300. So it's a big chunky piece of metal, 3-inch inlets and outlets. So it should pretty much bolt in place of the other one, which is only 76mm thick. However, we're going to have to do some clearancing with the front bar just to make it fit. But this should work a lot better than the cheap core that we've got in there at the moment. So hopefully with this in there, we can run another couple pounds of boost, plus it shouldn't be pulling timing halfway through the run, and that equals horsepower. So I'm hoping that we will see north of 400 kilowatts on the dyno with this intercooler in there and just a couple more pounds of boost. Intercooler is pretty simple, let's do that. As you can see, that one's a bit thin. New intercooler, obviously a hell of a lot thicker. I'll just sit it in there for the moment, just to get an idea of how it's going to sit. Obviously the mounts don't line up, that's all right. We can drill new holes. The beauty is though, it seems to clear everything. Just got to check the bottom mounts. Yeah, okay, so we'll have to extend some tabs across or something. Maybe a little cheat bar across there. 350, 300. That makes it pretty simple. It's done. Not really. Now, so we just got to make a little bar, bolts across there, and then bolts into there and there. Okay, now pull that radiator out. Okay. Oh, mother! It's everywhere. So we'll have to take our Spall fan off there and get a new fitting kit, fit it to the new radiator, get it in, and then we'll have this thing on the dyno, the Sabo. So we're just removing this air conditioner bracket at the moment so we can make way for our new pulley arrangement. The pulley that we had on there before was one that we borrowed from Zane. It was from a kind of speedway car setup. But we'll replace it with this one. Looks more factory. It should work well. Okay, so here's our little Daco pulley setup. Now, when Zane told us about this, he said you have to clearance in here for this extra bolt that sticks out the side of the Barra that doesn't stick out the side of the AU. But this pulley must be different to the one that he's got. We don't have clearance shit. So we've done our pulley over here, that's all in and done. Now over here we've got this custom plate made by Josh Chapman at Custom Alloy Fabrications. Awesome little plate. Basically it replaces your power steering pulley. I had something sort of very bodgily hooked up for summer nats. I hoped it would last summer nats. It didn't. It cost us a radiator. This mounts to the 3 points. Well, on our one it mounts to 2 points because we snapped 1 point off. We will try and weld that point back on just to give it a little bit firmer, but it doesn't go anywhere anyway. It is tight as. So I know it works. We've already had the car running because it had to do some promotional duties, but yeah, it works, it runs. So we'll whack this new serpentine belt, which has all its ribs, because our other one ended up quite frayed and was missing at least 1.5 ribs. So we'll get this one on there and yeah, see how we go. You're on there, you're on there, you're on there, you're on there. It took some prodding and pushing, but we finally got it on. It was very close. There's not a lot of flex there with the tensioner, but it's on and it works. So send it! So this fitting kit's nothing special, it's just one from Super Cheap, but I find they actually work. Okay, I think we are pretty solid. You're very tempted to just cut these off flush so you don't end up with any sharp points. Sounds good in theory, but if you do that, I guarantee you those things will pop off. So just cut them close, but not flush. Your hands may not like it down the track, but I'll tell you what, it will stay there. Now we stick it in the car. Plugs in there. It's not as bad as I thought it'd be, to be honest. So let's mark out some potential problem areas. So we've kind of got there, and from there around to there, and then if I go around there and around to there, that should eliminate our issues. Alright, let's see how badly I can stuff this up. Just slice that back slightly with a cutting disc. I'm going to use the flappy disc now to smooth it out and just take a little bit off this bottom lip as well, so yeah. Alrighty, let's see how we go. Sits a fair bit better. That is pretty good. So, front bar is back on. All we need now is some coolant, fire it up, shove it on the dyno. Needs me to hold it on. So here we are back again with Lightning McBarra at max performance. Last time we were here, we had that tiny little intercooler and it was pulling power halfway through the run. So you can see the dyno graph, it'd get to not even halfway through the rev range and it'd start pulling timing and pulling power because of the heat in the intake. Hopefully now with this bigger intercooler, we're gonna see a number that's more up here. So more power straight away, and then I want to add 2 pounds of boost to it, which will give it more power again, and hopefully a number starting with a 4. So we've got the heat camera here, just checking out. So it's 360 degrees or thereabouts, right there at the base of the wastegate. Look at my finger, it shows up as dark on the comparative scale. Playing with fire. I want to see a 4. That guy. Hey? You would be that guy. Yeah. She's looking a little bit milky. So you reckon it's not hot? Oh, you got a little bit of a green mess on your floor where it's overflowed. up on aisle 2. Well, how's that? A bit of destruction. And I've got to say, I asked Zane to push this thing to the limit. We almost made 400 rear wheel kilowatt, but Zane was saying, look, we need to stop because I don't think this thing's going to make it. And he was right. Listen to your tuners, kids. So, I'm not upset. I asked for this to happen. It's happened. We're going to go put a green top in it, and you'll see that on a future episode of Carnage.
It's got a Barra